That's really interesting that Destiny also said he was an out and about Nazi because it didn't seem like he had any issues basically platforming Sam Hyde when Sam Hyde was talking about how he wanted to murder me.
Oh my God, shut the fuck up. You're such a baby, dude. I didn't actually know back then if Sam Hyde was like a full-on Nazi or not. I didn't know 100%. There was still like a little bit of doubt in my mind. I wasn't sure. But then when I started watching some of his like his serious podcast stuff, I was like, oh shit, this guy is like a super Nazi. This is in 2022. Oh yeah. Yeah, I was kind of leaning towards maybe him being a Nazi, but I didn't think I didn't know at this point. I didn't really 100% think he was. It's funny because you can tell actually that I don't know that he's a Nazi because I don't really I don't challenge him on like any Nazi tier stuff. I don't know if I even asked about it. Did I ask about the journalist stuff? This was before the boxing match too.
Yeah, you got anyone you want to?
This was in August 27th, and I chatted with him. Oh. I chatted with him before this. Oh, so this was even before the Hasan shit. Hasan lies so much. Oh my God. Jesus. Also, just as a thing, like people like Bad Empanada like have actually tried to have me killed. Although we don't care about Bad Empanada because now he's based because Hasan uses him to attack me and anybody else he doesn't like. I guess Lonerbox for a while. But he was trying to like tweet at like Hamas or whatever, or tagging like terrorist Twitter accounts while me and Lonerbox were in Israel and in the West Bank.
Platforming Sam Hyde, talking about murdering me with Sam Hyde, saying he would fund it.
I said I would fund Sam Hyde murdering you? What did I actually say in this? I'll fund you murdering Hasan?
I have to fight Hasan Piker. You know who that is?
Why do you hate Hasan so much? Jesus. So Hasan boxing match. You've got another match. Is there like a dream collaboration you have? Is there like somebody like, obviously, aside from your favorite character, iDubbbz, is there somebody that you like really want to do something with if you have the opportunity to?
Yeah, I have to fight Hasan Piker. You know who that is?
That's my arch nemesis. You have no idea. Okay. I created Hasan 2 years ago on Twitch, but yeah.
All jokes aside, I know that you guys are not going to take me seriously when I say this stuff because it's like better to fuel drama or whatever. But when I joined Twitch for the first time, I had a very specific goal in mind.
Oh, back in August, he's put in effort and he sources things.
Fight Hasan Piker. You know who that is?
That's my arch nemesis. You have no idea. Okay. I created Hasan 2 years ago on Twitch, but yeah.
All jokes aside, I know that you guys are not going to take me seriously when I say this stuff because it's like better to fuel drama or whatever. But when I joined Twitch for the first time, I had a very specific goal in mind. And that goal has come to fruition largely because of Destiny, because of the help that he's given me. And also on top of Destiny, helping me personally, Destiny himself already doing exactly what I wanted to do. So when people like David Pacman decide to come on Twitch, or people like Kyle Kalinske decide to come on Twitch, this is an incredible thing. I love this. The alt-right have an absolute hold, a stranglehold on
2 years on Twitch, but yeah.
You created him, I have to kill him.
Well, if you're trying to fundraise for that, I would absolutely help you. Anyway, he's been training. Did you see his Twitter videos? He's taking.
I've seen his.
Oh, because he thinks that kill him here. I'm fundraising to assassinate Hasan Piker for when he's talking about his boxing match. Oh my God.
Training videos. Yes, it was illuminating to watch him kick the pad with such ferocity.
You have to sound scared, okay? You don't want to oversight. You don't want to scare him.
Yes.
Yeah. Do wait, that's all you're like 6'5" or something, aren't you?
6'4.5".
Oh, okay, gotcha. Well, have you reached out to him or his people?
Yeah, we've reached out. We've communicated. I've talked to people, intermediaries who've talked to him about this topic. His excuse was that he couldn't platform me by accepting a fight. He wouldn't want to make me lend some of his fame and clout to me.
Listen, if there's any California lawyers, okay, I'm only paying you on contingency though, so only if you win. All right, if everyone would sue Hasan and represent me, okay, I would do it. You could throw my name on the lawsuit.
To the best of his ability, posting it on LSF, having it go super viral, only to realize that he was aligning himself very openly in a hyper-brigaded post on LSF with an open neo-Nazi pedophile, and how bad that looked, deleting the post, getting one of his fans that posted that to delete the post, basically.
What? Wait, what?
Makes the collab they did more pathetic. Yeah, that's really interesting that Destiny also said he was an out and about Nazi because it didn't seem like he had any issues basically platforming Sam Hyde when Sam Hyde was talking about how he wanted to murder me, platforming Sam Hyde, talking about murdering me with Sam Hyde, saying he would fund it to the best of his ability, posting it on LSF, having it go super viral, only to realize that he was aligning himself very openly in a hyper-brigaded post on LSF with an open neo-Nazi pedophile, and how bad that looked, deleting the post, getting one of his fans that posted that to delete the post, basically. The videos are still out there. Having conversations with Sam Hyde, where...
Do you think the dynamic you had with Sam is comparable to Hasan and Bad Empanada's relationship? No, I don't understand how. I can't tell if it's like randos or if it's Hasan fans that are like trolling when they ask these questions. But no, if somebody has ideas that I disagree with, I push back on those ideas when we're collabing, whatever you want to call it, or chatting. At that time, I didn't really know that Sam was like an outright neo-Nazi. Again, like all of this is like, you can watch all of this shit on my stream. Like, you can watch me go through the process of exploring and discovering, and I'm not really sure if he really means this or is this actually true or not. Like this is all super open stuff. If there's somebody that has like very disagreeable beliefs, who's like a political person on my stream, I'm basically always like talking about that or fighting with them. I don't co-sign opinions about people, or I won't bring somebody on to attack somebody else if this is a person that I super hardcore disagree with. I have a huge issue with that. Like, I'm having issues aligning with lefties right now because I don't even know if it'll be disastrous in the future when we disagree on foreign policy takes. I just don't do this. Meanwhile, Hasan will literally like retweet Nazi accounts and shit, actual Nazi accounts on Twitter to attack me and then amplify all their attacks. Like,
Where they actively talked about murdering me. But then again, this is far from the first, nor will it be the last Nazi that he has actually defended. He trolled about Asmongold Discord's helping him with this video. It didn't happen. He's just signal boosting by bringing in their names. Who was talking with Sam Hyde? Destiny was.
Wait, so you asked the DJ to remove the post from LSF, but you kept the video up on YouTube. It doesn't make sense. Yeah, I already told you, and I challenged the LSF admins. I think I said this even to Stale. No, I think I told them they should do it in the future. If the LSF admins want, although I don't know who has access to it now, or I mean, I have access to my LSF channel. I have never, ever, ever asked for anything to be taken down ever from LSF. I have wait, hold on. Let me think. I'm wondering if that's too strong of a statement. Now I'm wondering if there's any like copyright shit or anything I've ever requested taken down before. I can't think of anything I've ever asked to be taken down from LSF before. This is the totality of my, I don't think anything sensitive is in here. This is the totality of my Discord server interactions with the LSF admins, because they have a server where streamers can beg for shit to be taken down that makes them look bad, because that's all they do. In January of 2022, I said, here's a random question. Can my Reddit account, NeoDestiny, ever get unbanned from the LSF subreddit? We've unbanned you now. Mod team here is very different to what it was a year ago, but checking through history, just make sure to not personally insult people as it still breaks over one. And then a year and a half later, I said, is it okay to have political posts on LSF as long as we attach a charity to the politics? Oh, I got irritated because people like Hasan could keep dodging the no politics rule on LSF as long as they were doing some stupid fucking charity. So this is like a salty question. We allow a small amount of leniency on political posts related to charity if the focus is on the charity, not the politics. Obviously, this requires some case-by-case analysis from our mod team. The general report is to try and weigh if the post helps the charity rather than inflaming political discussions. On September 26th, somebody says, why are you even engaging with that rat Destiny? He's full of shit and not to be trusted. What? LOL. Stale 2000. I see that. And then he links some mod shit. He did a takeover of the sub. I wonder if the new LSF admins even control this Discord even anymore. These are the only conversations I've ever had with LSF admins. I've never requested anything to be taken down. I've never asked them to moderate content on my behalf. I challenge, if you were to get somebody like Hasan to release his logs in this Discord, I guarantee you he's had 10 plus takedown requests. And I know because I've talked to some LSF admins privately. Other streamers request so much shit. They request so much stuff taken down. It's insane. So for him to make that accusation of me is hilarious.
Their communities merged and intersected because they had a unique shared perspective of wanting me to die. Who would see that he is actually defended? He trolled about Asmon and Voice Discord's helping him with this video. It didn't happen. He's just signal boosting by bringing in their names.
What do you mean talk to admins privately? Is it possible that Hasan requests takedown via private messages? Yes. On LSF, all of the big streamers have a direct line to the admin team, or at least they did before the recent takeover. I don't know if they still do, but they did before, and they would message the admins and request things to be taken down. They would message them and say like, hey, like, I don't want this drama leaked here, or hey, I think these make us look bad, or hey, whatever, and then you'd have things taken down from LSF that you don't like. Hasan used to message them a lot, so did other big streamers used to message the LSF admins a lot to get stuff taken down that they didn't like. Yes.
Who was talking with Sam Hyde? Destiny was. Their communities merged and intersected because they had a unique shared perspective of wanting me to die.
Didn't you just say yesterday that going forward, you're not going to bother with debunking every retarded claim that Hasan makes? Did I misunderstand? I don't think I said that. I said that these are annoying things to deal with because it wastes my time, because none of these are substantive. He'll never post proof or link evidence of any of this. It's just him lying about me. But it's just annoying because it poisons like so many other relationships, because if somebody's never heard of me before, but they've only heard of shit that like this like retarded dipshit like spews on his stream to try to character assassinate me. Yeah, all he does is just goes on stream and lies about me.
So it goes a little bit beyond drama is my point.
Like, it's annoying because Nazis fucking hate me because I'm a liberal. I'm a big liberal. And the claim against me is always that like, oh, Destiny, he stands for nothing. He has you know, he has no values. He's just a valueless liberal, hedonistic goy slopper, or it's always like the very, very far right, like super cultural far right people are always are always criticizing me for this. So the idea that he thinks there's some huge crossover in audiences is so fucking stupid.
Also, people have discovered the concept of fog and are very scared about it. So we'll talk about that as well.
To be clear, he doesn't actually think that. Oh, true, too. Yeah, he's just lying about this. He doesn't actually think this is true. True. What's your goal? Are you just producing content, or do you have an underlying purpose with your media? What do you think America's number one issue is? What can the average American do about it? Most of my stuff right now is probably literally just like, the fancy way to say it would be media factual analysis, I guess, or whatever. But I mean, I don't know, watching videos, fact-checking shit, clarifying what's true and not true. Any plans on lowering the hate watch in 2025? It's really unproductive. Unfortunately, no. But I don't think it is unproductive. I think it's actually been very productive because now when Hasan lies about me and then I counter it, there's like short clips that go around about it, and then other people could call it out more. It's annoying. I don't really want to do it. If Hasan is giving like really bad political commentary, I'll do it. But when he just lies about me over and over again, I kind of have to say something. Otherwise, I can't. Otherwise, like people just assume it's true, and then it's just annoying. Yeah. Somebody linked this for him being born mask off.
I don't understand it. Like, I would never, like, I'm a Catholic boy.
Mm-hmm. It's not a religion. It's not a religious
I'm a Canadian boy.
It's an ethnic thing. They have the highest, good God, that is frightening. That is a chilling, that is a frightening visage.
I wish I saw her in real life. I'd try to her and I'd call my wife first. I'd be like, hey, Jess, is it cool if I try to Amy Schumer? She'd be like, yeah, have it.
They have the highest in-group loyalty, and they have a high enough IQ to disguise that that in-group.
These are all, I'm assuming he's talking about Jews. Also, like, just because I've heard it's exhausting how much I've heard all these talking points. In-group loyalty is something that's often said about Jewish people. While they're trying to undermine the white race, they're also very loyal to their own group of people. It's supposed to demonstrate the hypocrisy of Jewish people by saying they tell white people that you need to be more accepting and you need to outbreed with other ethnic groups. Meanwhile, Jewish people are incredibly loyal and they only in-group breed, so they know that there's an advantage to doing it because of their in-group loyalty, while they try to destroy the in-group loyalty of white people. I'm pretty sure if you look up the numbers, I think that Jewish women are actually out marrying at like higher rates, but the idea that this is some sort of like, even if they weren't, the idea of this being like a planned approach to redesigning society is a far jump from, even if some people do marry in-group more, it's just
group loyalty quite well.
I guess I think in-group loyalty is fucking cool.
Well, I mean, there's a case to be made for that, but unfortunately, if you don't have high in-group loyalty, you
get eliminated,
genetically doomed to be eradicated from the face of the earth as a group.
Really?
Yeah.
As a group, though.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Just ancient biblical warfare still happening to this day, just under different names.
It's
explain why someone like Asmongold would should take the silly Nazi stuff seriously. Maybe. I mean, I think that Sam Hyde does a good enough job, like kind of dressing it up into just kind of like economically populist messaging, so it sounds good. Remember, like any good ideology, it's going to be like an abusive person. I'm negative about all this. Like, there's not always like an abuser is not always bad, right? There's usually going to be some good aspect to an abuser. Otherwise, people wouldn't be attracted to them. But I mean, it's the same thing with like Nazi shit too. Like Hitler wasn't wrong about everything. You know, like they're going to make points that are going to resonate with everybody to some extent. It's just a matter of how well they can disguise some things and celebrate other things, I guess.
It's tribal warfare, and it's kind of seems unavoidable. I think it's unavoidable. The fact that tribal warfare is a thing. I mean, it happens in nature all the time. It happens with fucking trees. Do it. Trees favor other trees with they share nutrients, I think, and they favor trees that are more genetically similar to them than trees that are not.
Yeah,
so
like birch trees don't fuck with any of the trees.
That's just the way of nature. And white people, I think, are currently getting beat down pretty hard with white guilt, and that's why they have this one reason why they have this lowered in-group loyalty, I think.
For now. We'll see if it'll change.
Yeah, we'll see.
But I guess the question is like, when you say it's not going away, right? How do you see it like playing out? You think we're just gonna get dragged into the three?
I don't know. I think it's if I was Brazilian, I'd be pretty fucking worried right now because on Twitter they're getting like dragged. Like Twitter is like the Nazi. It's like Nazi. What the fuck? It's leftists that are doing. Twitter is like in my opinion, Twitter is a pretty
it seems pretty well representative of what people actually think now. And whether you like it or not, the black people that I follow on Twitter, the white people, the racists that I follow on Twitter, the stuff that they're saying, it doesn't seem like there's anything really out of whack. Like there's any messages that are getting boosted too much on Twitter, like out of proportion to the way people feel. And it just seems the vibe, the temperature right now is that people really don't like
Brazilian.
And it seems like it's getting safer and safer to say that. And
This means Jews, right?
model.
Never thought I'd see the day.
I never thought I'd see the day. This model comparing Israel to Nazis. It's Israel that they say the issues with, but it's Israel is
Brazilian.
Jews.
So if I was just not looking good, man, if I was
Brazilian.
I'd be worried.
Good.
That's what I mean. It's not going away.
Good.
Welcome to the party. That's the only thing you can say.
Well, I mean,
Are they really gonna like American Brazilians? Like, nothing's gonna happen to them.
well, no, that's not true.
I think a few of them get canceled.
Amy Schumer's not going to be killed, but everything is interdependent on everything else. And for, fucking 100 years, the G kind of controlled media, or been at the position of the highest position of power in media.
I'm ceasing to see the. I don't know. I'm stupid. Remember, I'm the mayonnaise guy. So there's a big bowl in my head.
Why it's a bad thing?
Yeah,
I'm not saying it's a bad thing. I'm just saying it feels like there's a huge change brewing.
Oh yeah,
and it's just ooh, freaky.
See, I guess I saw it like that the whole time.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like people could have saw that the whole time. I guess I didn't.
Mm-hmm.
I was expecting like the plumbers and everybody to be like, "Come on!" And then you like, yo,
You think that Nick is as far right as Sam Hyde? I can't tell. Sam Hyde is a full retread of 2016 era neo-Nazi talking points. Fuentes seems to be a bit more in the ethnic nationalist kind of thing. He's a bit more not as Nazi as Sam Hyde. However, there's also the fact that Nazis, my understanding of it, my remembrance of it is Nazis hate Catholics. Holy fuck, they hate Catholics. And Fuentes is very much a Catholic, right? Fuentes is very much like a Catholic nationalist person, I think, right? Isn't Fuentes a big Catholic church guy, or am I making that up? Or was he just Christian? I know they called it Christian nationalism, but wasn't Fuentes a big Catholic guy? I think he is, right? Yeah, okay, yeah. Nazis, neo-Nazis hate Catholicism and hate Catholics.
oh, you don't know Brazilian Hollywood, and they're like, what?
Mm-hmm.
I watched Texas Ranger, and you're like, oh shit, I didn't even know. Oh, I'm on the retard side.
Mm-hmm.
I just assume everything's intentional. I have a different sort of take on these things. And I assume that the allowing of this pushback to happen is intentional, and will push backs closer to the wall and make the reprisal more extreme. I just assume everything is scripted. You know how
Well, I think, when you assume that everything's intentional and scripted, what you're assuming is that people have that.
Isn't it the KKK that hates Catholics, not Nazis? No, Nazis hated them too. Hitler hated Catholics. Yeah.
Someone somewhere has the ability to perfectly plan something.
Mm-hmm.
And what have we ever planned that's gone even 50% the way that we thought it would?
I guess nothing.
Literally nothing.
Nothing.
And even World Peace 2 was successful, but it wasn't successful because anybody planned it that way. It was successful because ingredients and things came together organically, and we hadn't lost our.
Elon Musk have as much political power as they do. I think it's very bad. But the reason why I think that a lot of people aren't going to be as sympathetic is because there have always been people like that, like Bill Gates, or you could look at George Soros or something like that. I think George Soros is a bit overblown. But, as another example, you have Jeff Bezos, Mark Zuckerberg, all of these people have been doing this for years, right? It's not okay. It isn't. But
remember, never, ever, ever any specific examples on anything ever. It's always important because you're creating the environment to give people a way to feel about a thing, but it doesn't really matter what the facts are, which is why we'll never give an example of anything these people have done that we think is objectionable or questionable.
Well, the problem is that when you create a game and then somebody beats you at your own game, you can't say that the game is rigged. You see what I'm saying?
Had put out a tweet, and the Swifties had melted the Capitol switchboard, which they crashed Ticketmaster. I have no doubt that the Swifties could crash the Capitol switchboard.
Yeah.
We probably wouldn't be having the same kind of conversation.
When you ask what game is he talking about, remember, the conservative strategy is to always convince you that the Democrats have always been doing this, and now we're just doing what the Democrats have done. That's always the game plan, right?
We'd be like, look at democracy in action. Look, people are motivated. This is exciting. So I would say it's not Elon.
Don't you think that Asmongold is just talking out of his ass like your typical uncle? He seems like he just goes off of vibes and is just a useful idiot that is getting mined by Nazis. Do I think that he's like legitimately a super conservative and that's like ideological where he's coming from? No, but he's either been so audience captured or so information captured that he just basically becomes indistinguishable from any like far right MAGA conservative. He'll repeat every single MAGA conservative talking point without questioning them. He has very little, if any, skepticism for the MAGA side. So he'll just repeat all the talking points uncritically to his audience.
So I would say it's not Elon Musk, and it's not even what he's doing. It's the results people don't like. They didn't like that a quote bipartisan bill.
They don't like that they won, that it worked. That's the problem. Is that they did it and it worked. That's why they're mad.
Really just a giveaway. When Santa Claus had come to Washington and everybody was getting what they wanted, that got tanked, and that's what people are upset about.
Yep.
It is interesting, though. He is.
Would you let me know when Taylor Swift does that, Katie? You let me know when Taylor Swift decides a call to action about specific legislation that we could have that conversation.
She did. She did with the reproductive rights and with Roe versus Wade.
Reproductive rights is not really federal legislation at all. Roe v. Wade has nothing to do with federal legislation. Broadly championing a policy is a lot different than telling congressmen to pull the plug on a particular bill when you are politically influential due to your financial proximity to the president-elect. It's not even remotely the same thing, but I don't know if Asmongold even knows the difference between a bill from Congress or the Constitution or the difference between the Supreme Court and a congressman. But again, these are all just like the conservative talking points. It's always all the same, or the Democrats have always done it first.
She literally did. It's the same thing.
But he always seemed to have a double standard, right? Even when you debated him back when Hillary was running against him, he has a double standard for Trump lying for CNN. Maybe, but like I think like a year or more ago, I gave Asmongold more credit because I don't think he covered. Like I've said this before, he wasn't like a full-time political coverage guy. It was just kind of like vibes based on like gaming, like Gamergate shit, and then he like played games and stuff. But as he's been like ramping up, I would say over the past year, Asmongold's political coverage has become a significantly larger part of his content. So now I'm going to be more harshly critical of the way that he covers things. Like 5 years ago, he's just like a gaming streamer that like dips into politics and I think gave some bad takes, but I'm not going to like be super harsh on that. But I would say like over the last year, I think that he's been way more politically active. So now I have, it all started with the Johnny Depp trial. Maybe, yeah. You seem to be speaking more harshly on Asmongold's takes recently. Did something change? Use more aggressive rhetoric against things. Yeah, just what I said. He's been ramping up his political coverage and now he's like, it's just like he's just a Republican mouthpiece, basically. Yeah. In one way, it's funny because, now Hasan is the second biggest political streamer on Twitch. And another way, it's kind of sad because I think Asmongold actually has a much larger chance of getting permabanned than Hasan does, just because Asmongold is on the wrong political side for Twitch. But didn't Asmongold come across super intelligent, at least in his approach, when he moderated the Fuentes debate? Yeah. So something that I think is frustrating is that I don't think that IQ or intelligence horsepower is enough to save you from bad political opinions. I think you need to have external like processes to check yourself from falling into bad information environments. Same thing with this guy. Like this guy is legitimately, I've spoken with him a lot off camera as well. This guy is very smart and he has good thought processes. But my God, he has every political opinion. But the issue is that when you start to fall into these, information environments, it is so hard to break out. It is so hard to break out. And you have to have an ungodly amount. You have to think that the streaming world is selecting for one thing and it's demanding you, if you want to be good politically, well, good in the way that I'm saying is good, to be the total opposite, right? You have to have a lot of epistemic humility when you're entering political environments to think that like I could be totally wrong on something. And the environments for influencers is selecting for people that probably have less humility and are a bit more aggressive, are a little bit more disagreeable. So it's a tall order. Yeah.
I don't view this as and I understand that it is.
How do you know that you're not in a bad information environment? I think I do more than anybody else to like fact check and to have like external processes to check myself. So like, whereas like somebody will say like, if you ask anybody that question, how do you make sure you're not in a bad media environment? They're going to tell you, I get my news from a variety of sources. That's what somebody says when they've never thought about the question before, right? So I will tell you that like I can argue both sides of any issue incredibly convincingly. And I firmly believe that. For any debate that I've had, I will be the best debater on the opposite side as well. So for the Palestine-Israel stuff, if I wanted to debate pro-Zionist, I would be the strongest Palestinian debater. No questions asked, easily. Same thing with things like abortion, same thing with things like veganism, even on things that I'm on the other side of 100%. So I can argue both sides convincingly, number one. Number two, I always have in mind like what it would take to change my mind. Like if I saw information on those or I saw those, I would change my mind. Number three, I try to like consciously and verbally match my convictions to my beliefs. So I'll tell you like, I don't feel too strongly about this, like, or I feel very strongly about this. Four is I'm willing to debate anybody on any of these topics at any point in time. And I'm willing to like go through data and evidence to view it. It's not like, let's have a debate, but I don't want to get lost in the weeds. Let's not get lost in the weeds. We don't want to go down a rabbit hole. Like, I'll read or anything. Five is that I'll do like as much research as I feel I need to understand a topic, and more than anybody else in my industry. Like there are things that I do, like actual things that I can point to say like, I think this is how I stay out of like bad misinformation environments, rather than just the answer of like, I try to get my news from a variety of sources. Yeah.
It's the same thing. Like I don't view this as and I understand that it is slightly different.
I mean, doesn't everyone do that? In order to pick a side, you kind of have to be able to see both sides of the argument, no? Absolutely not. I would say less than 1% of people. Well, no, that's probably not fair. I'd say less than 5% of people can argue both sides convincingly. How do you combat the debate mercenary allegations when you constantly say, I'm the best debater on both sides? This year, I'm not running from that anymore. I am a debate mercenary. Well, it depends on what you mean by mercenary. I'm a debate warlord. I am a good debater, but I'm a good debater because I know my shit and because I will crush you if you don't know your shit. And people like, people who are scared of debate or whatever, like there are two reasons why you can be scared of debate. Somebody can say, I'm just not good at like arguing with people. The environment isn't conducive to the way that I think. I'm not good at like on the fly, like countering, some particular thing. I get nervous or whatever. Those are like legitimate reasons to not feel like you can perform well in a debate. I think that's fine. I don't think everybody is wired for like live debate or live conversation like that. I think that's totally acceptable and totally fine. But when somebody starts saying things like debate is just about shouting over your opponent, that's cope. That's always cope. Those are things that people say. When people say things like debate is just about whoever can scream the other person down, that's like a person saying like, oh, I actually think that going to the gym is a waste of time. I'd rather just like read more, and having muscles is for losers. That's like the biggest, it's just a huge cope. That's a huge cope. Mercenary has a negative subtext to it, aka whoever pays. Oh, like I'm hired by a side to debate? I mean, you can say that, but like I take more notes, I do more research, like my whole research process. I am the only person on the internet whose whole research process is literally open to everybody. You can see every article I've read, every book I've read, every note like it's all public. So you can say whatever, but I mean like the evidence is, if you genuinely are curious about this, then like the answers are very obvious. But like the only people who think this are people who just listen to Hasan's bad faith mischaracterizations of me. Do alarm bells go off when someone is enthusiastically and confidently trying to convince you of a thing? I find that my instinct is to doubt people when depending on how they present a fact. How they present a fact can be important. I agree with that, for sure. I mean, if someone has only been watching Ben Shapiro, Steven Crowder, I would understand why they think that. But for people who see you, it's an unfair argument. Honestly, I don't even agree with that. I don't think Ben Shapiro and Steven Crowder win debates by shouting people down. I think they win debates by knowing more than the other person. I think that they genuinely just crush their debates.
Celebrate your new title. Petition has been... No? Get it.
Fuck. Where is the, where is this back and forth?
Thank the gods you're here, Stark. About time we had some stern northern leadership.
Glad to see you're protecting the throne.
Steady old thing. How many king's asses have polished it, I wonder? And what's the line? The king shits and the hand wipes.
Very handsome armor. Not a scratch on it.
I know. People have been swinging at me for years. They always seem to miss.
Chosen your opponents wisely, then.
This is what they do. Charlie Kirk and Steven Crowder and Ben Shapiro win debates because they choose their opponents wisely. This is why their armor is unscratched generally, because they go to colleges and they debate kids over subjects that they prepared extensively for, and then they crush them because they're not able to mount like an effective offense, basically. Yeah. So, I mean, what are you going to, yeah. But it's not because of rhetorical tricks. It's just because of the opponents that they choose. That's why Hasan brings on 16-year-olds to debate on his stream, right?
I don't respect that difference or care about it enough to view one as bad and the other one as good. I think that your opinion about one has to be the same about both of them. There's not really a distinction in my mind that makes one like logically different than the other. It's the same substance. Yeah, that's the way I see it.
Elon Musk has jumped on phone calls with foreign leaders as well, which is interesting. And I would like to talk more about that, but unfortunately, we are out of time. Julie.
One of the nice tricks of misrepresenting the facts is that you get to make very, very, very strong righteous arguments past the incorrect statement, incorrect fact, and then you sound really good, right? Like imagine there are two men. One guy is like convicted of stealing and the other guy is convicted of rape, and you just say like the guy that stole actually raped too, and then you give this whole speech pontificating about how all people should be treated equally, and if he raped he raped, so they should both be treated the same, and everybody's like, yeah, true, fucking A. Like, everybody's like clapping on like, yeah, absolutely, they did the same shit, they should be treated, you should be consistent, absolutely. But the reason why this hits so hard is because you've told a lie about like, well, is the behavior the same?
Brzezinski and Katie Frost, we appreciate both of you. Thanks so much.
Yep, there it is.
I was amazed.
And what's this? Both these girls have some bitch face? Oh, Jesus Christ. Why? I don't know what it is about people on like Twitch chat.
Wait, I first found your content by searching for a deontological way or rule set to have debates that fleshed out the truth and not just dunks. Your Hasan vs. Kirk came up. You're the closest to that goal. Wow, thanks, Gina. That was a long time ago. And thanks for the 5 gifted memberships. What did Lawson Harrison think? I'm reminded of your WIC panel months ago on if debate is effective. Those guys brought nothing. Oh yeah, I'm changing my rhetoric on this too. Even I live in my, somebody gave me that advice. Don't live in your opponent's criticisms too much. I agree with that. Debate is not for changing your opponent's mind, and debates are meant to be won. That's true. You should win the debate. It's not for, it's like saying that when you go to compete at like an NBA game or when you compete in like the College World Series that you're there to practice. No, you're there to win. You're there to show the fruits of your practice. When two people have a public debate and they're ideological like enemies, they're opposed to one another, the goal should be to have the better arguments for that debate. You're not there to learn from the other person. Of course not. The learning is what happens up to the process of the debate. So when people are like, "Oh, debates are worthless because you don't learn anything," that's That's like saying the Super Bowl is worthless because the teams don't practice in the Super Bowl. No, you're there to compete. You're there to show which idea is better. I think there's nothing wrong with that. That's fine. A casual debate or conversation you have between friends or on stream, or whatever, is different than a debate that you have like on stage with a ideological opposition, or ideological adversary. Off topic, have you heard about the Miami Beach condo subsidization problem with high rises sinking into the ground? I've heard about it. Don't care because I don't own property here. I'm a rent Chad. I am a rent Chad, and my landlord cuck, my landlord loser, he's the one who has to deal with his property sinking into the ground. I just move.
People on like Twitch chat that always feel like compelled to make comments about people's appearance, but you guys got to stop doing that. And if you make comments like that and you say weird stuff, there's a very high chance that you'll get permabanned because it's weird. And one was voicing their opinion as a citizen and the other one's directly consulting with the authorities. I don't care about that because the effect is the same. So if somebody can wield their influence in order to change policy, the method of doing so is less relevant to me. Like from a functional level, I don't view this as a massive moral difference. She has influence? Yeah, exactly. And so it's not. And again, you can draw these like, technicalities and like, oh, well, technically it's not really like that. And, well, actually it's like, well, if you look at the law and I don't care about any of that. When I see a bunch of celebrities getting together to push one person, to push a policy, that to me is logically the same as one person trying to push a policy themselves. It is. The semantics don't matter to me. The effect does. And I think the effect is the same. Yeah, who told our PR team to say it? Yeah, that's basically it. And how much influence do you think half $1 trillion worth person has versus a celebrity? Well, apparently a lot. You told our PR team to say it? Yeah, that's basically it. And how much influence do you think half $1 trillion worth person has versus a celebrity? Well, apparently a lot. Yeah, a lot more. It worked. That's it. The implication that rich people weren't having private.
This is what I said before when it has to do with like width versus depth. That like Taylor Swift, Taylor Swift, can you even put those together? Taylor Swift has a lot of width in that she can talk to a lot of fans, but very little political depth in that she doesn't talk about politics very much. So an endorsement from Taylor Swift just doesn't really mean much. People don't do much. She doesn't do much like political conversation or whatever. Yeah.
Private conversations to shape policy. And Elon Musk is the only person. Yeah. And I think this is the reason why a lot of people aren't buying into it. It's what this guy's saying right here. The implication that rich people weren't having private conversations to shape policy and Elon Musk is somehow the only person to do this is insulting to everyone's intelligence.
Like, this is a false equivalency. Nobody is saying that rich people weren't having private conversations to shape policy. This is not what Elon Musk is being accused of. This has nothing to do with.
That's exactly right. And I think that's why this type of argumentation, can you show proof of this? In some cases you can, in some you can't. I think that there are a lot of like things that happen. Like, for example, like.
Maybe you'll get lucky. My next psychotic episode, you deranged maniac. Oh, Ruby Spacek in my YouTube chat has also DM'd me. Hello, Ruby. But I think you were also a little bit crazy. I believed that Destiny was controlling my internet in 2023. Some misunderstandings happen. I'm bipolar. Does that count? I hope you get the help that you need. Good luck. But like a harmless crazy. You just seem like a, whatever you're doing, you do you, okay?
Like somebody leaves office and then they get an appointment with a company that they were favorable towards or something like that. And also, just because something doesn't have like, there's not like a video evidence of it happening, doesn't mean that it's not obviously happening. I mean, you can't see this many points on a line, or sorry, this many points on a graph and then not be able to draw a line. I'm sorry, but it's just, it's just very fucking obvious that this is happening. Bill.
What's very obvious that what is happening? Is he going to name an actual thing? Like, can you give us a thing that's happening? Like, what's happening?
Gates, yeah. The proof is the existence of lobbies.
What? Like what? Like, let's say that's true. Do we think that what Elon Musk is doing is simply lobbying?
Yeah, I think that's another good way of looking at it too.
It's not.
But yeah, I think it's going to continue happening. And overall, FDA is a good example. Oh, I don't know about the FDA. I'm not sure about that. But I think that in a lot of cases, that definitely happens. Yeah, for sure. And so just let billionaires control the government because they were already doing it. Like, what are you saying? I'm confused. Well, what I'm saying is that I'm not going to view it as a unique evil. And if you want to get rid of billionaires controlling the government, then use the language of billionaires and not Elon Musk. That's the difference. So, like, I agree with you. I think that that is really bad. But it seems like this is a one-sided perspective. And so if there wasn't, then I would probably have a more open viewpoint for it. But I think the truth is that it's one-dimensional. And it's based off of power and not principle. And I think that average people can see that, and that's why they're distrustful of the media in the first place. And I'm sorry. A lot of people might be unhappy that I'm saying this. You don't have to get mad at me. They're the ones that are doing it. All I'm doing is explaining it. Like, yeah, that's it. Like, I'm just explaining what's happening.
Okay. This is just stupid, but I don't know if he does it on purpose, but he's so sneaky with his language. He goes, well, these things are all the same in super broad terms. Like, all of these put money in politics and push for certain agendas. But if you ask him any deeper questions, you go, well, I didn't say that. I'm just saying money in politics is bad. Yeah, but it's like this, it's this really broad. That's why I'm saying, like, people should ask for examples, or people should ask for, I don't even want to say specifics, but examples. Jesus. Adrian Dittman loses his shit on 4chan, leaks screenshot with x.com, admin privileges visible in the bottom right corner. This is honestly, he might be Elon. Like, I'm more on the side of maybe he's Elon. So apparently this screenshot leaked, or he posted a screenshot. Wait, hold on. Is this? Fuck. Does green background mean there can be not safe for work? I forget. I'm pretty sure this is fake. Wait, is this fake? How do we know it's fake? Oh, fuck. Am I getting? Don't let me get baited with late epic fake news. It says admin portal and the L is out of place. Is the L out of place, or is this just an issue with the like the pixel count, the screen resolution, or whatever? I wouldn't be able to tell. I'm not sure. The Verge had a person from X who says it's fake. Okay. Oh, so I'm sorry. Now we do trust the corporation that's owned by the billionaire guy who is saying that it's fake. Now we do trust it. Okay. Well, never mind. Maybe it's not real. Who knows? Yeah, was that account posting under a trip, like a known Adrian trip or something, or? Adrian Dittman and Elon Musk both have US phone numbers ending in 89. Oh, what? Because somebody should have reset the password on both? Screenshot seems to suggest billionaire Elon Musk is cosplaying superfan Adrian Dittman, showing X account permissions beyond that of an ordinary user is almost certainly fake, a source at X tells The Verge. Guys, you're here because you like to ask questions. Asmon Chat is there because they want to be told what to think. They will happily follow something. Once you make it easy enough for them to swallow, they don't push back. True, not like us. The source who claims no knowledge of Dittman's identity says an image posted to 4chan's poll board doesn't reflect an actual interface available to people who work for X. The screenshot was posted by a user who identified themselves as Adrian Dittman, showing a post from Musk's X page. In that screenshot, the X interface includes non-standard links to an admin portal and a bans page. Oh, wait. Is there a bans page? Oh, would you really have a whole separate... Why would you have an admin portal and a tab for bans? Oh, now I feel like this is super fake. Twitch has an entire tab in their portal titled Destiny Appeals. True! I bet they do. Okay. Well, we don't care about this anymore. Okay, fuck all this.